Hi everyone, welcome back. This is the second in the series about a smart home. We started with an overview, installation, registration, and just getting a little bit poking around with Home Control Assistant. Now in this video we're going to create a new scene file so that now we're going to create and customize this for ourselves. Start the Home Control Assistant program with the server turned off. You're going to end up with this blank with no rooms, no folders, just everything's basically empty. Just the very basic things. So we go over here and we'll just create a new designer, and it's got everything set up for us. We want to set our location as whatever we want. In this case, I'm going to call it my home. We can set our location. I'm going to enter my zip code in, and the zip code lookup, it found everything. And you have, you could set minutes before or after sunset and sunrise. Just click OK. Now here we can add the rooms, we can delete rooms, we can set up rooms, change icons, rename, view icons, and just view it by a list or by an icon. So we can add a room, and this room is going to be called basement. Now in this room I have some devices. Now we can change the icon, and we have quite a bit to choose from here. And we're just going to call this one we'll just call it the room office. Okay, so that's that. We're at another room, and this is going to be the living room. And the rooms that you're going to create are where your devices are at. So living room, automatically change the icon. We have some devices in the kitchen, so change that icon. If we don't like that icon, we can change it, but I like it. We have devices in the family room. And again, if you want, we can change the icon for that to there really isn't. Yeah, we're just going to keep it at that. Let's see. There's more. Oh, never mind. We can choose some more. Different icons. We'll just leave it. So we'll just cancel out of this. Now we have the garage. There's some devices in the garage. So it shows us a little picture of a car. Another room, and this is upstairs. Hallway. And we have upstairs bathroom. And we have another device in the downstairs, spell right, bathroom. Now, there we go. Everything's registered. So, now we're going to add, we don't have devices, we don't have folders, programs, we just set up our rooms. So now, we're going to add our devices. Now, what we're going to get started to do now is we're going to go ahead and start the server. And it's going to show up here. We're going to right click, hit open. And as you can see, it automatically opened the basic scene file. So what you would normally do is hit there, hit open, then hit open. So I've already configured this, but I'm going to take you through what I've done. Now, because I use an older Insteon hub, I have to go here to Legacy and enable the support for Insteon hub, and this is my model. Now, if you don't see your hub listed here, you have to go to Legacy, and you'll probably find it here, because Home Control Assistant does control a lot of different hubs, but the older ones are here in Legacy. So let's click back to hardware, and this is the hub that we have, and now we hit configure. Now you go by the device address or the device name. I went by the IP address, and so the way I did that is I went and got a program called Advanced IP Scanner. Now, this is a free program for you to get, so don't be apprehensive about getting it. Just download it. I'm going to re-download it, so here we go. And you don't have to install this program, so you can just run it instead of installing it. So I clicked on to open it, hit OK, and we're just going to run it because we don't necessarily need to have this permanently on the system. So let it extract and it'll run, and now it's popped up. Now this is the IP address of our LAN, and we just tell it to scan. Now what I'm looking for, and yours is going to be different, but it's going to essentially say about the same thing. So let this scan, let it run. But here's a device right here, which is Smart Home. And that's my Insteon hub. So now what you do is put the IP address here, and here you do have to put the port number in. Now, and this Insteon hub uses port 25105. You can change the disconnect time to longer, but you need to put in your username and password, and that happens when you initially set up the Insteon hub. So write down your username and password. And it knows that this hub supports multiple protocols. Which of these protocols should be used? By default, it's Insteon, but let's say you went on eBay or wherever and you bought an X10 device. You want to have support for it. So we're going ahead, and I've gone ahead and enabled for both of those. So click OK. And now we just hit connect, and it's going to go out. It's going to search for the hub and come back and say, okay, I found it. Here it is. So there, and hit OK here. Now we're done with this program, so we're going to go ahead and close it. Now we're going to go ahead and add some devices. So we need to start up the client, and it's going to thank us. And now we're going to connect to the server, and that is 127. Okay, I know that. And that's for a later video. I'm going to demonstrate to you how to update the software, and you don't worry because you don't lose anything. But for now, we're just going to go ahead and deal with this the way it is. As you can see, I created some rooms here, and I've added some devices. But let's say I want to add another device. Now, with this software, there's multiple ways of adding devices. Like, for example, I have this indoor-outdoor module on-off. I use this for my holiday decorations. I have this surge protector here so that I can show you how we add the devices. So I'm going to plug this in. Okay. And you see we have a red light here. So what we do now is we go over to design and click device, and we'll call this one holiday lights. Okay. And we hit next, close out the hint. It's Insteon device. Otherwise, we have to specify it's an X10 device. You have all these other devices to choose from by brand. Hit the next. Now, since this is a powered device, we're going to hit the button first, and we'll press and hold the set button here. They both chimed. I don't know if you heard it, but it's requesting information from the device, and it says that's powered by this operation. That it errored. So we can go to manual configuration. We're going to test it. Okay. And we're going to tell it what it is. So what we're going to do is we're looking up a 2634222. That's what this is. So we'll go ahead and select it. Hit OK. And next. Holiday lights. This way, if you hit next, you can select what icon you want. We'll go ahead and leave it with the wreath. We'll hit finish and close. And it's going to put it in the basement because that's where I told it that this device is. Now, we can get its status. It's going on. Device is off. So even though it did fail, as you see, we can still put it in and it's fine. It'll work fine. It'll be fine. Now what we want to do is go to properties here and just read its database. And it's going to go out, just read, and that way we're certain that it's responding just fine. Now we also want to come over here to linking, and we're going to link this device to Home Control Assistant. So now it's going to read in and it's going to write to the device so that it integrates that device into Home Control Assistant. It takes complete control of the device. So now it says already linked. So now we can turn it on, we can turn it off. Now we're going to do a second device, and this device is a little different. It's a wireless device. So what we're going to do is go to device, and this is going to be basement motion. Can't spell. That's okay. And motion, and next, close. And for this one, we're just going to do it manually. So what we have to do is take the back off, take the battery out, and we have access to the code, and it's not case sensitive. Okay, what we want to do is put the battery back in, and put the cover back on. Okay, now we'll hit test. Now it lets us know it recognized it. So now we want to tell that what this is. And this is a motion sensor 28442222. Okay, so we hit OK, hit next, and it's going to show us the motion sensor. Hit finish and close. Now, what we need to do is go to properties here, go to linking. So now we're going to put this device to be controlled by Home Control Assistant. So we're going to tap the set button and hit 1, and it's going to go and read and write. And it's okay, it doesn't match the previously read version, that's fine. And it's going to write to it, and there it is, status okay. Close. Now if you notice, all three of these say HCA, so we don't have to do any more. We're done. It automatically took each of the registers and put them into Home Control Assistant. Now each one of these does something different, and we'll get into that in a later video. Now let's say you don't want to add an individual device, but you want to go ahead and add multiple devices. That's very easy here. Go to Protocols, go to Multi-Add, click that, and you just want to hit Start, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay, so as you can see here, what I've done is I've added 3 devices. I'm going to click stop, and I'm just going to tell it get types. This is going to take a little while, and what it's going to do is it's going to go out to each device and request its product ID and product information. So as long as this works, it will fill everything out for us. Otherwise, what we'll do is we can put them in manually. Now, if you noticed, it did figure out what the thermostat was. It just didn't figure out what the other devices are. So we're going to tell it the room is living room, living room, living room, and we're going to rename this to thermostat. And now we have to tell it what the other 2 are. So what this is a 2474 2-wire switch, and so is this one. So sometimes, yeah, when it doesn't read properly, you do need to know what it is. You find that right literally on the box. So there we go. Got all these in. We hit OK, and it adds it right to our room. Now let's say you did like what I did and forgot to rename these. So this one we're going to call patio lights. Close. And this one is, go to properties, This one is called the living room lights. That's it. That's done. Now, I do want to change this icon, and I should have done it while it was already here. And we want to make sure that we link the device. So it's going to go out, request the information. It's going to read the database. Now, even though this says it doesn't match the previously read version, that's still fine. It'll still work. And there we go. And while I'm here, I want to change the icon, since this is the patio lights, to the what looks like a patio light. They call it an outside wall light. Now this one, again, we have to go in. And this one, I do want to change the icon to a desk lamp, because it actually is a lamp. And I want to click on linking and link the device. Again, this is fine. It's fine. It's not going to hurt anything. So it's going to read in the record database, add the link, and link the device to Home Control Assistant. Now, this does take a little while because it's going over the Insteon mesh network. So now, there we go. It's linked. And then we want to go ahead and save our progress. Now, if you notice, just to make sure we're following along here, I do have the server started here, and just so I can verify with you, go to hardware. It is connected to our hub. So we want to make sure that the server started and then that you've connected to the server when you make these changes. Now guys, I know that, I've changed clothes a couple of times. I did this on a couple of days, not the same day. So that's why my attire is different, because I like to change my clothes. So I hope this was helpful for you, going over it, just adding a single device, adding multiple devices, as well as devices that you just can't reach or just don't want to go out and reach just to hit them. Now there is one Insteon device that does not have a set button. That is that there. Now what you need to do for that device is, of course, have the unique identifier, the 6-digit alphanumeric number, and the model of the bulb, because this you do have to put in manually. There's no way to add it automatically. Now, there are two devices that Home Control Assistant will not support at all. That is the bridge, smoke bridge here, as well as the smoke alarm and bridge kit. These are considered emergency items that add an additional point of failure. If you have any other additional questions, please absolutely feel free to leave them in the comments section down below. Leave a like, hit subscribe, and I'm going to be making more videos. So we'll see you guys in the next video.